And for more on this, Bente Scheller joins me now from Beirut. She's the director of Heinrich Boell Foundation's Middle East office in the Lebanese capital. Thank you very much for your time there. Now, how significant is the rebels' capture of the town of Al-Rai?
Well, as we just heard, it is a significant point in the border. It is a crossing point, actually. But I think more significant would be to conquer a larger swath of territory around it. I mean, this is one town, and of course it is a promising sign. It is one out of several towns that rebels have been able to capture from ISIS recently. But we really need to see how can they extend it, how can they make sure it is not just a point, it is a larger territory that grants access.
And DAESH kidnapped, obviously, recently hundreds of workers from a cement factory near Damascus. What do they hope to accomplish with this, do you think? Is this like a change in strategy, perhaps?
That we will really need to see, because it is not unusual that ISIS captures people, that they kidnap people, that they take people with them. It is a larger number than usual, but of course we can only hope that somehow it is a change in strategy, because one thing that normally we have seen, ISIS is not very much into negotiating other than other rebel groups. They don't really try to get money and they don't swap prisoners. So normally the fate of their victims, of their kidnapped victims, is quite clear. They might be executed. Luckily, so far, we have not really had confirmation that this happened, but we will really need to see. It would be a good sign if they were able and willing to negotiate about them, but I doubt it so far.
Right. Now, what about in terms of the reasoning for this? Is this a retaliation for military setbacks by the group elsewhere in Syria?
Well, it is, I think, more making use of an occasion. As far as I understand, many of the workers in this cement factory were Alevites, and this is, of course, of symbolic significance for ISIS. Therefore, these poor people might have been captured for the sheer reason of the confession they belong to. But ISIS likes to pressure one of the main forces, or one of the main instruments of ISIS actually is fear, and by this they create fear in the local population.
Right, okay. And in terms of, chances of seeing peace in the region, what are your expectations for the next round of Geneva talks?
Unfortunately, so far we have not really seen a change in position of the main actors. I mean, internationally, of course, it was good that Russia and the US agreed to hold the Geneva talks and also to continue them. But the substance still is very difficult to tackle. The Syrian regime has rejected any suggestion that Staffan de Mistura has made for the talks. The substance should be transition, a new constitution, and in the end elections under the UN supervision. Assad rejects all this, and therefore I think we are not really optimistic about a quick success, and maybe not a success after all.
All right, Bente, thank you very much for your contributions there, Bente Scheller.